I wasted 10 years obsessing over chess openings. I watched literally hundreds of YouTube videos. I bought so many chess books. I bought courses on Chessable, but none of this really helped me to improve or become a stronger chess player. I only became a strong chess player once I started doing exactly what I am about to teach you in this video. So a lot of people think that all they need to do is find the best opening and then just memorize a lot of lines, and they think that this will help them to improve. But that's actually false. That is not true, because it really doesn't matter how much you memorize. At some point, your opponent is going to play a move you are not prepared for. That could be because maybe they have memorized something that you don't know, or most likely, they just have no clue what's going on. They just make a move and you don't know what to do anymore. And that's usually where people who rely on memorization to improve at chess will fail, because you don't have the necessary skills to win. You just memorize, and that's not going to help you. So I will show you a different approach that you should take. So first of all, it really does not matter what you start with in the opening, as long as you pick something that is solid straight from the beginning, which could be a pawn on d4, a pawn on e4, a pawn on c4, maybe the knight on f3 to start. But basically all we really need to do is just follow opening principles. I recommend to do exactly what I am about to show you here. You put one of your pawns in the center, could be anything. You protect it with a different pawn immediately. We support it. Then we look to develop our kingside pieces first, or kingside pieces first, or kingside knight, or kingside bishop. And then we look to castle. That is literally what I am going to do. We look to castle here. And now we are in the middle game. And I was able to get into this middle game without any memorization. And it is in the middle game that we will be outplaying our opponent. So that is what I am about to teach you. So what should you think about if you want to become a stronger player in the middle game? Well, first of all, we have to follow a couple of principles. We want to minimize the amount of pawn moves we make, to mostly using our e-pawn, d-pawn, and c-pawn. As long as we use these three pawns, we will be okay. Our game will go great. Every other pawn that we could think about moving could create weakness. So that's the first thing we look at. I usually start with either e or d pawns, and then I wait a little bit to decide what we are going to do with the c pawn. That's usually the more flexible pawn, because you could either use it, for example, like this, to stop some of their pieces to help strengthen your center, or you could use it like this to attack your opponent's center. So that is what we could be thinking about. In this particular position, we do have to watch out for the potential move knight to b4, where they could try to go there with their knight to see if they could win, or rook. It actually doesn't really work here, because we can attack the knight and then we can just move the rook. But it is something in this particular position that we need to be careful of, that we see a lot of their pieces coming this way. But I'll still decide to just play this. I'll just play pawn c3 here. It will make things simpler for the explanation in this video. It does stop their pieces, and it also helps strengthen this center. But keep in mind that this c-pawn is very important. You can use it to attack, or you can use it to defend. All right. What we now need to focus on, now that we have moved all three of these pawns, is that we want to focus all of our energy on, first of all, blunder prevention, which means we don't want to blunder first. That is the most important thing. How can you do that? Basically, every time they make a move, you need to look at their move and try to figure out, are they threatening something? Is there like a follow-up tactic that they have? No, they just developed a knight. I usually look for CCT. I look for my opponent's checks, captures, and threats. And if I don't see anything, I continue with my plan. And for our plan, we mostly want to focus on using our pieces, improving our pieces, which is why, for example, I play this knight here to the d2 square. My opponent is clearly just preparing to castle. That is what they are trying to do. They develop the bishop, it attacks something, it's not really threat. They are preparing to castle. All right. Whenever it is our turn to make a move, there is actually a very simple framework that you can follow to play a very strong middle game, which is the CCTO thinking system, the CCTO framework, which stands for check, capture, threat, optimize. A lot of players, they find moves by intuition. You play something because it looks good or because you have seen something similar somewhere. But that's not how strong chess players play. We have a thinking system that we use. And I recommend the CCTO thinking system. It's what I use. So first I always look for checks. No checks. Then I look for captures. No captures. Then I look for threats. Threat is a bit more complicated to understand. When we look for a threat, we are basically looking to attack something that is unprotected, like this pawn. We are looking to attack something high value, like a bishop, with a pawn, or a queen, with a knight. So we always attack something high value with something low value. Those are the two main things you look for threats. There are more things, like adding extra pressure to pieces which are already protected. That could also be a threat. Setting up a checkmate, setting up a tactic. So if I am looking for threats, I would be looking for the move queen b3, attacking the pawn. But it's not super difficult for them to solve this problem. And if you have a check, capture, or threat that doesn't achieve anything, don't play it. It's as simple as that. Okay. And if you don't have a check, a capture, or a threat, we are going to optimize. That's CCTO. Optimize as our final step. And optimize is all about using these three pawns and keep improving our pieces. All right. So right now, we would like to improve our pieces. I would like to get this bishop into the game. I would like to maybe do something with this knight, maybe do e4 or c4. A move that I would definitely play here is knight to h4. This is optimization because first of all, by moving this knight, we open up a square for this knight. And it also gives us the opportunity to grab their bishop and also to damage their pawn structure. They now have doubled pawns. Is this doubled pawn terrible for them? No. I mean, it's not terrible. They will be able to play g6, protect it, and it's also somewhat helping them controlling e4, but it's still a doubled pawn. All right. The more important thing is that we just were able to get a bishop in exchange for a knight. And if you can get a bishop in exchange for a knight, that will make your middle game way easier. Because right here we have a strategic advantage. We have two bishops versus one bishop. Okay, and we have to use this strategic advantage to win the game. If we don't, or if we give this away, we are just making things difficult for ourselves. Whenever you have more bishops than your opponent, you need to start looking at this. The small center and the big center. The small center is the red square, the big center is the blue square. If we can remove as many pawns as possible from this square, if we could remove all pawns from this square, the player with the bishops, which that's white, will be better. Because bishops become stronger as pawns get removed from the board. What move could we play to remove pawns from the board? We could play c4. And again, we are using that e-pawn, d-pawn, and c-pawn. And this is why I said in the beginning, I like placing my knight here, because that knight helps to support both of these pawn pushes. Basically the e4 and the c4 pawn push. It's smart by them that they move back this bishop, because if they don't, if they play any other move, I would be grabbing that bishop, and then it would literally be two bishops versus two knights. And that's even better than two bishops versus one bishop. This would be incredibly nice for white. But they are smart. They move back this bishop. Okay. Whenever you feel stuck, just think back to what I told you. CCTO. Do we have checks? Do we have captures? Do we have threats? I think none of that works here. Can we optimize? Can we improve pieces? Yes, we can improve pieces. With the queen, the bishop, none of this is really in the game. The rooks still need to get into the game. So what are we going to do? I think maybe right now that queen b3 could make sense. We looked at this before. It's still a threat. Yes, they can solve it, but it also gets the queen into the game. We are on a little bit of a better diagonal here. All right. Their move doesn't do anything. We don't have to be careful. Check, capture, threat, optimize. And optimize is a step. There is so much you could do. Like if you think I will play bishop here to optimize, yeah, good for you. That's a good move. I would play rook d1 to optimize. Is it better? Maybe. I'm not sure. It's just optimizing. It doesn't really matter. We don't necessarily have to find the best move to optimize. We just need to optimize. Pass the turn back to the opponent. They will mess up the game. They will self-destruct. We don't really need to do anything special. What's going on with this queen here? We have to be careful because this is attacking our knight, also X-ray attacking our queen. It's also attacking this pawn. I don't really like this. Like, why would I allow them to have a centralized queen? That doesn't make too much sense to me. I think we will be doing CCT, threat. Let's attack the queen. That's like a standard example of a threat. We attack the queen. They block it by putting the knight in between. It's actually what I expected. I think that's good. But we can use this to our advantage. We can try to use this. Let's see. Maybe we could play knight to d2, would add an extra piece. Also, we are chasing away their very strong queen with our queen, which was actually a little bit passively placed. And after all of these trades, now finally we have been able to again improve our pieces a little bit. This makes perfect sense. One of the things that you really shouldn't allow when you are playing chess is you shouldn't allow your opponent to start placing pieces on the first 4 ranks. So basically on your side of the chessboard. Because as the more pieces they get there, the more chances that they will have a tactic at some point. So let's just attack it. Let's just see if we can get rid of it. This move doesn't do anything. We looked at this before. We could play rook a2 or we could play rook b1. I think b1 is the sensible move. Like a2, it's a bit strange. The rook is stuck in the corner there. So I wouldn't necessarily go for this. Okay. All right. And they play bishop to d6. All right, perfectly fine. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. I think black is in some trouble. This is usually what happens if you follow the strategy. Your opponent will just mess up. Look at this knight. Where is this knight going to go in the future? Well, nowhere, basically. Nowhere. The knight doesn't have any squares. So if I can attack that knight, I win the game. That's pretty much it. So what I think I can do is I can get my bishop here. Doesn't matter what they play. We just attack the knight. And that's it. We win the knight. And if they take our bishop, if they take our bishop, we take with the rook, we still win the knight. So that looks like it's a pretty good move. We can use our most passive piece, and we probably will be able to win that knight. Okay, they are going here. Does that really solve their problem? No, it does attack this. Maybe let's just move it. We could also keep it there, but why would we allow them to take that bishop? Oh yeah, they are just going back and forth. Yeah, we can attack that knight. I think they should be okay. Yeah, and they sacrifice, which that's of course what I expected. Like if they are losing, the best thing that they can do is sacrifice something. Okay, and now we are already up material. We are already up 2 points of material because we got a knight in exchange for a pawn. And trust me, if you use this strategy, if you do blunder prevention, and if you use CCTO, this is how your games will go. Your opponent will be the first to blunder. We are up 2 points of material, which means it's time for a new strategy. Trade, trade, trade. We would like to trade literally everything. If we can trade everything, we will just be up material, and then this endgame will be great. So I'm just looking for trade. Every time they give me a trade, I will accept the trade. I'm not hesitating at all. We do still have to do some blunder prevention, like right here we have a hanging pawn. Yes, we could take this and they take this, but I don't know, like why would we allow our whole position to fall apart? So let's just defend a little bit. Okay, that's a smart move. They just protected this this pawn. Okay, so what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? It's still about CCTO, even in this endgame. So check capture threats, we don't really have anything. And when we think about optimizing, the most important thing I want to optimize is I want to fix this weak pawn. Like I don't want to end up dropping this pawn. So I think we will need to spend some time and energy here to make sure that we don't actually lose this pawn. So let's just protect it a little bit. And then I'm also looking into possibly playing pawn to e4. Because at any moment when you can have a very strong center like this, that's always worth it. So I think this makes sense. Okay, they take. But I think taking is a mistake. I looked at this move as a possibility for them. But if they take, we double up rooks, if they move that knight, I calculated this, if they move this knight, they are losing a rook. So that knight is pretty much pinned. They can protect it with this pawn, but I think this doesn't work because we can trade and then we can just add extra attackers or just trade everything. Yeah, trade everything. And then I was looking into a move like knight c5 to see if we could win a pawn. This is basically just a massive trade. We have to be careful. If we take with the knight, we are pinning our knight to the rook. If we take with the rook, we are offering them a trade, which is exactly what we want. This is basically perfect. I just wanted to trade. Like, that was all I wanted. I just wanted to trade. And now we just have the exact same position, but we have a knight, they don't have anything. And we can start picking up some pawns. These endgames are incredibly easy to win. Still, I get messages every day from people saying that they don't know how to win this. So let me just show you. What we are going to do is we are going to try to pick up as many pawns as we possibly can. All right, that's what I'm trying to pick up as many pawns as we possibly can. And I'll even pick up this pawn. And you might think, wait, you are giving away your knight. Yes, I know I am giving away my knight. But what I like to do is I like to simplify the endgame as much as possible. And now it's literally 3 pawns versus 2 pawns. That's very easy to win. We can just activate our king. Like, they will have to stay close to this. They will have to stay close to that pawn. But we will just activate our king. And we are going to run up the board. And I'll just go grab some free pawns here. That's basically my plan. Let's go grab some free pawns. Yep. Let's go grab pawns. Yeah, king f2 is fine. All right, we attack this. And we are going to grab some free pawns. And it takes them so incredibly long to get here. Yeah, let's do this. They go here, okay. All we need to do now is we need to get them to let go of this pawn somehow. So I think this move makes sense. They barely have moves. They will probably go up. Then we can check. They have to go up. And then we can waste a move with this pawn and then just grab that. And now we have 2 extra pawns. This is always going to be a win. So please try out the strategy from this video. Drop a comment to let me know how it went.